Hello, I'm Hemkant Gawade from CSM Arts and Commerce College, Chakan. Today we'll see how practical subjects like account, costing, taxation, etc. can be taught in digital manner or how they can be taught virtually. Some theory-based subjects can be taught by taking video recording of the teacher when he's teaching the content. The teacher is supposed to teach in regular manner and the same can be recorded. Teacher can start delivering the content and audio lectures can be recorded. No doubt, video lectures will be more powerful than audio lectures, but practical subjects cannot be taught in the same manner like theoretical subjects. Practical subjects have illustrations and that has to be understood and solved step by step. It might be very difficult to explain these subjects orally. Like our regular teaching, we can use blackboard, green board and chalk method. Before start teaching, we have to focus our camera on the subject, that is board. Our camera should be parallel to the ground. The capture area should be perfectly matched. We have to ensure the vertical and horizontal alignment of the camera before starting the shooting. Once the setup is ready, you can start recording and start teaching the subject in regular manner. We may face issues of clarity at the time of final output, as we are using chalk and board, so the script cannot be perfectly visible. So we can use a whiteboard and mark. Instead of blackboard, chalk, the contents written with the help of whiteboard and marker will be more clear and perfect. This is one of the easiest method and best suitable method for the subjects having practicals. So step-by-step solutions can be calculated on the board. This will help learners understand the subject in better manner. Alternatively, we can use a tabletop video method where the illustration is solved on piece of paper or on notebook and the same is recorded. Like the earlier method, we have to prepare a setup. The area of paper that will be covered in shooting, height of camera of the notebook should be adjusted accordingly. Before starting the actual recording, we have to ensure the area of page that will be covered in the shooting. We should see that our content do not go beyond our shooting range so that upper, lower and left right corner should be marked. If we are using regular camera phone for shooting, the file size might be very heavier as we are using default camera settings. There are many applications that are available on Google Play Store and Apple Store for video recording. With the help of these apps, recording quality, file size, audio quality can be controlled. We can use any application based on our comfort and convenience. You can Google for the same. Every application has its own pros and cons. Some are free, some are paid. Some applications have free as well as paid versions. I do use Cinema FV5 Lite for recording videos. Please remember that it is a video recording app and not video editing app. The video shooted in Cinema FV5 Lite can be edited in some other video editing applications. For example, there is ActivePresenter, Camtasia software, OpenShot software, Filmora software, and many other open source and paid software. These softwares are for computers and laptop and are not for mobile. For mobile, you need to find some applications on Google Play Store or Apple Store. Video editing for Android and Apple is different than laptop and desktop. Let us see a very good mobile shooting video application, Cinema FV5 Lite. This application is for Android, Cinema FV5 Lite. Let us go to Google Play Store and install Cinema FV5 Lite. Let us search for this app, Cinema FV5 Lite. It's Cinema FV5 Lite. Let us install. It's a very small app. Let us give some permissions. This app has been installed and let us open this app. It will again ask for some camera permissions. Allow the camera permission. It will give some tutorials. Next, next, next. Now we have the interface of the camera, and our camera or this application itself is in landscape mode. So we have the recording button over here. We can start recording, or we have some settings over here. We have some default option at the bottom. So let us see what are required option. First of all, we will click on the setting, and on setting there are some important options where we can store. The default location of the storage is in camera folder DCIM 100 Cine folder. The default video file name pattern is movie. You can add some prefix name. Now what you want with volume keys and all. Let us go to next function, that is video functions. By default, the custom video setting is off. We need to on this setting, and once we activate or once we tick that setting, the next option comes. Now the container, the first option is container format. It should of course be MP4 format. Then is video resolution. Video resolution, we are supposed to keep it at 1280 into 720, or we can keep it as 962 into 720. So we are keeping it at 16:9 ratio. Then video codec will keep it as it is. Then it is bitrate. Now higher the bitrate, higher will be the quality, and lower bitrate, lower will be the quality. So what we'll do, we'll keep the bitrate around between 4 to 5 MB. You can have options from here also. So we'll have this bitrate between 4 to 5, and we'll click OK. Then we'll have frame rate. Now we'll keep frame rate as 25. Higher the frame rate, higher will be the size of the file, and lower the frames, that is frames per second. So lower frames will, it means that lower will be the size of the file. We'll click OK. We'll leave rest of the part, and we'll change some settings in audio. Now if probably we are using some collar mic or external mic, we'll tick this option. If we do not have any external mic, by default it will take internal mic. We can customize audio setting also. And we'll click back. Now again there are some important options that we'll see. There are different lighting options. By default it will be auto wide. Now if I want to focus a particular object, instead of autofocus, I can select this option and I can click on the specific focus. Then there is an option called light metering mode. We'll skip that light metering mode. Then there is ISO. Again, we won't be making any changes in the ISO. Here there is an option of brightness. So we can adjust the brightness by this icon. You have to make sure that this particular option over here has, it indicates that external mic connected, and when we'll start recording, so let us start solving the problem. Let us calculate gross profit first. Now gross profit ratio is gross profit upon net sales into 100. Now the gross profit is given in the problem, which is 4,40,000, and the sales value given is 9,50,000. So 4,40,000 upon 9,50,000 into 100, so it becomes 46.31%. So this was the first ratio. Let us calculate the second ratio. The second ratio is net profit ratio. So the net profit ratio is equal to net profit upon net sales into 100. So the net profit is given in the problem, that is 2,60,000, and the net sales is 9,50,000 into 100. So 2,60,000 upon 9,50,000 into 100, it becomes 27.36%. Let us move forward and calculate the third ratio. The third ratio is stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio can be calculated by cost of goods sold upon average stock. Now cost of goods sold is sales minus gross profit, and average stock can be calculated as opening stock plus closing stock upon 2. Now let us calculate one by one. Cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold, that is sales minus gross profit. So that is sales 9,50,000 minus 4,40,000. So cost of goods sold becomes 5,10,000. Now average stock is equal to opening stock plus closing stock upon 2. Now opening stock that is given in the problem is 99,500 plus closing stock is 1,50,000 upon 2. So the total or average becomes 1,24,750. Now let us calculate stock turnover ratio. So the STR is equal to again cost of goods sold upon average stock. So the cost of goods sold that we have calculated is 5,10,000, and the average stock is 1,24,750. So that becomes 4.08 times. Let us move forward and calculate the next ratio, that is current ratio. Now current ratio is equal to current asset upon current liabilities. In this problem, the current assets are stock, debtors, cash, and bills receivable. Current liabilities, there are two current liabilities, other current liabilities plus bills payable. Now let us write the value for each and everything. Stock is 1,50,000, debtors 45,000, cash 60,000, and bills receivable 1,05,000. Upon other current liabilities, 90,000 plus 40,000 bills payable. So the total of current asset is 3,60,000 and total of current liabilities is 1,30,000. So current ratio becomes 2.76:1. Likewise, liquid ratio can be calculated. Liquid ratio is equal to liquid asset upon liquid liabilities. Now, out of the current asset, stock will be excluded. That is not a liquid asset. So, debtors plus cash plus bills receivable upon current liabilities, that will remain same, that is other current liabilities plus bills payable. Now, out of the above amount 3,60,000, the value of stock is 1,50,000. So if we remove 1,50,000 from 3,60,000, that becomes 2,10,000. And current liabilities and liquid liabilities are same, so the total remains 1,30,000. Therefore, liquid asset upon liquid liabilities, so it becomes 1.61:1. So that's all.